Hey, what's up guys? This is Kyle with Bear River Strength and Conditioning. We are on episode 7 of Tips and Tricks. Today we are talking about pausing in the movement and tempo work. So specifically today we have a pausing back squat built into our strength piece. The focal point of this Tips and Tricks is to talk about why we do that and potentially how to do it either more or better or the combination of the two. So when we talk about why, we're talking about 3 things that we're trying to gain as a member of the gym through tempo work in movement or pauses within a movement. The first and most important for us as coaches to you guys is to focus on quality of movement. So the goal here is to move really good because that means you're going to be able to move heavier loads faster or move your body from A to B more efficiently. What tempo work is talking about 4 different parts of the movement. So you have the eccentric part, which would be the lowering part. You have the bottom, which is the typical known as the pause. You have the up, and then you have how long in between reps. So if we had a 3-second descend, 2-second pause, 1 second up, 2 seconds between reps, that's kind of a typical way to look at a tempo or pause work. Spending time in all of those positions creates awareness of our body in the movement. We take the loading down typically so that we can focus on the quality of the movement. The second thing within the quality of movement is body control. If I slow things down, you're gonna start to be able to control your body better so that when you speed it up in the workout, you've developed that awareness and body control so that things go better within your Metcon. That's the first thing, is quality of movement. The second thing is that it reduces the risk of injury. Obviously in our world, intensity typically rules everything. The rule with intensity is if mechanics and consistency, then and only then intensity. So slowing down, as far as like risk of injury, when we slow down, you have to reduce the weight typically. You can't do the weight that you normally do if you were just going down and up. What going down and up really fast also does is it puts a lot of pressure on your joints. When we slow down, it takes the pressure off of the joints and it puts it into the muscles and the connective tissue. So we can start to develop the muscle and the connective tissue rather than working strictly on banging down into the squat and damaging our joints. The third and last thing when we talk about tempo and pausing work is we're trying to develop strength gains. Okay, so how we do this is a 4-step approach. Number 1 is we can do different tempos, we can do different pauses, we can do different time that it takes to come up, and we can do different lengths in between reps. That creates a wide variety of movements or training. It's not just always down and up, down and up, down and up. We're specifically designing programs or time spent in each one so that we can have that variety and it's not so similar the whole time. The second thing it does as far as strength gains is it shores up any weak links. Think of this in the sense of a touch and go deadlift set. Your second and third rep are always easier than your first one. That's because you've got the momentum from the first rep at the top getting you down and doing that bounce. If we were to take that bounce away through tempo or pausing work, it's gonna force you to put the bar or your body in the right position. So shoring up your weak links is the second thing. Third of the 4 things in the strength gain is time under tension. Again, in our world, we live around intensity and we wanna go from A to B as fast as we can. What tempo and pause work does is it lets us spend time under tension just like in the Metcon, but it doesn't overtax our central nervous system. It allows for us to continue to do the work without beating up our nervous system. The last thing that it does as far as developing strength is it recruits more muscles. For those of you that have done, like today you did the pausing back squat, you noticed that the pause in the back squat was a lot harder. That's because your body's forcing itself to use more muscle to hold that position. Or if you do a tempo, it's going to use more muscle to work through the length of time that it's taking to do that specific rep scheme or second scheme in the tempo work. So some things you can do is break it down into 4 parts. Okay, you can really pick your own, or we can program some for you. You have your eccentric part, so the descend and the squat. Okay, you could do a 3-second descend, Then you have the pause at the bottom. You could do a 2-second pause, then you have a 1 second up, and then you have the time spent between reps. So a 3, 2, 1, 1, for example, would be a 3-second descend, 1001, 1002, 1003. The 2 part would be the 2-second hold, 1, 2, 1001, and then we're going to pause for 1 second in between and do it again. Okay. Feel free to try it on your own. Obviously, we implement this in once every 2 weeks into our programming. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us. Thank you, guys.